is digital twins in Russia, if I'm not mistaken. So after that, the opponents' teams will ask questions. I sent out the slides of the presentation to the opposing teams. So I hope you have questions, interesting questions, smart questions, and probably destroying questions, so that we could have a good ground for discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, what's next? I invited the students from Mr. Bukovsky's team, from Mr. Bukovsky's group, to participate in my seminar, so that they could see how we proceed, how we organize our work, and so that they could start working in the same way. After our presentation, I would like to discuss our model of cooperation with the members of Mr. Bukovsky class. Ladies and gentlemen, I kindly remind you that in addition to our, so to say, open opponents, two opposing teams which were appointed, we have we have anonymous opponents. What does it mean, actually, ladies and gentlemen? In my class, we have 8 teams. We have one presenting team, and we have 2 opposing teams. So it means that we have 5 teams more. These teams should prepare their overview of today's presentation. They should contact me by email as soon as possible. I guess no later than today evening, with the opinion on today's presentation and with the evaluation of this presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I will analyze your competence on the basis of this overview, so please don't forget to send me this information by email. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand me? Do you hear me? Okay, you should send me just a short overview, a short report, so to say, on which will contain your opinion on today's presentation. I want to know your opinion. So I want to know your evaluation of this presentation, so that I could. You should substantiate your opinion, and this substantiation will be an additional how should I say, an additional mean of grading for you. Do you understand me, Nikolai? Okay, actually, you're absolutely right. No more than 1 page, maybe less. It's up to you, actually. Please save me from how should I say, from extensive reading. But actually, you should provide me with such a report, so that I could understand how you analyze, how you perceive, so to say, the presentations of your colleagues. Okay, guys, do you understand it? It's 4 teams, so I expect to get 5 reports. Okay, absolutely right. 1 report per team. Okay.
Could you clarify, please? Are there any specific criteria, or we just share our opinion?
You just share your opinion, but you should substantiate it on the basis of the theory we analyzed in our course, on the basis of your common knowledge, so to say. And I will use this substantiation as a mean to evaluate your competence. Okay?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's only for the teams from my class. So I kindly invite the students from Mr. Bukovsky's class just to listen to these presentations and to analyze the process. We will organize your cooperation after my class. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready and if there are no more questions, I kindly invite the first team, the courageous team, I would say, which decided to be the first one. I kindly invite the first team to present their results. Ladies and gentlemen, I kindly invite you to pay attention to this presentation. Guys, again, I remind you that we have strict time limits, so you have no more than 20 minutes to present your slides. Okay, guys, you may start if you're ready. Please share your screen.
Okay, I will share my screen.
I see it.
Okay. I think we can start.
So today's topic is digital twins and Russian industrial companies, problems, risks, and prospects. What is digital twin? A digital twin is a digital representation of a physical object, process, or service. A digital twin can be a digital replica of an object in the physical world, such as a jet engine or wind farms, or even larger items such as buildings or even whole cities. As well as physical assets, the digital twin technology can be used to replicate processes in order to collect data to predict how they will perform. A digital twin is, in essence, a computer program that uses real-world data to create simulations that can predict how a product or process will perform. With the advancement of machine learning, the factors such as big data, these virtual models have become a staple in modern engineering to drive innovations and improve performance. How does digital twin technology work? The life of a digital twin begins with experts in applied mathematics or data science, researching the physics or operational data of a physical object or system in order to develop a mathematical model that simulates the original. The developers who create digital twins ensure that the virtual computer model can receive feedback from sensors that get the data from the real world version. And this lets the digital version mimic and simulate what is happening with the original version in real time, creating opportunities to gather insights into performance and any potential problems. A digital twin can be as complex or as simple as you require, with differing amounts of data determining how precisely the model simulates the real-world physical version. Where is it used? Digital twins are used in a wide variety of industries for a range of applications and purposes. Some notable examples include manufacture. Digital twins can make manufacturing more productive and streamlined while reducing throughput times. Automotive sphere. One example of where digital twins are used in the automotive industry is to gather and analyze operational data from a vehicle in order to assess its status in real time and inform product improvements. Retail. Outside of manufacture and industry, digital twin is used in the retail sector to model and augment the customer experience, whether at the level of a shopping center or for individual stores. Healthcare. The medical sector has benefited from digital twin in areas such as organ donation, surgery training, or the risking of procedures. Systems have also modeled the flow of people through hospitals and check where infections may exist and who may be in danger through contact. Disaster management. Global climate change has had an impact across the world in recent years, and yet digital twin can help to combat this by the informed creation of smarter infrastructures, emergency response plans, and climate change monitoring. And the last one is smart cities. Digital twin can also be used to help cities become more economically, environmentally, and socially sustainable. Virtual models can guide planning decisions and offer solutions to the many complex challenges faced by modern cities. For example, real-time responses to problems can be informed by real-time information from digital twins to allow assets such as hospitals to react to a crisis. When to use it? Digital twin can be broken down into three broad types: which show the different times when the process can be used. And the first one is digital twin prototype. This is undertaken before a physical product is created. The second type is digital twin instance. This is done once a product is manufactured in order to run tests on different usage scenarios. And the last one is digital twin aggregate. This gathers DTI, which is digital twin instance, information to determine the capabilities of a product, run prognostics, and test operating parameters. These overarching types can offer a variety of uses, including logistics planning, product development and redesign, quality control or quality management, and systems planning. A digital twin can be used to save time and money whenever a product or a process needs to be tested, whether in design, implementation, monitoring, or improvement.
So there are several industries in which digital twins are used in Russia. It is automotive engineering, mechanical engineering, aircraft, oil and gas industry, and energy industry. Firstly, I want to say about oil and gas industry. A good example of digital twin is equipment at the Gazprom Neft refinery. In 2014, the company launched a project to create an engineering data management system for oil refining facilities named Suprit in Russian. The project is based on the use of 3D modeling technologies for implementation, the functionality for storing, managing, and updating information about units throughout its entire life cycle, from construction to operation. This system allows to get quickly access to engineering information about any equipment, and thanks to using it, the time for the creation and reconstruction of oil refineries has reduced by 30%. The efficiency and safety of their operation has increased, and the downtime of the plant's technological equipment has reduced. At the end of 2016, the system completed a pilot project at the Omsk Refinery 89. Second sphere is nuclear industry. In the Russian nuclear industry, ASE, what is Atom Destroy Export, has become a pioneer in digital twins with the multi-D software package, which is used primarily in the construction and management of physical facilities of nuclear power plants. Using multi-D, people can create a spatial model of a structure object, calculate the physical volumes of resources for construction, draw up work schedules, and the use of labor and non-labor resources. In 2016, the multi-D project management system at Rostov NPP was recognized as the best in the Mega Project Multi-Roadmap Element nomination at the international competition CETI Award. Next industry is automotive. In 2017, KAMAZ entered into partnership agreements with Siemens for the purpose of digitalization. As a result of cooperation, 3D models of several dozen machine tools were developed. KAMAZ uses them to simulate assembly and other technological processes. Other example in the field of mechanical engineering is the creation of the Aurus Senat car produced by NAMI. It is presidential state car of Russia. This is the first Russian car to be manufactured using digital twin technology. The car was designed in just 2 years, thanks to a high-quality virtual model. The digital twin of this car allows 50,000 crash tests. Their implementation in the real world would require the really enormous time and material costs. Next industry is engine building. All modern products of the United Engine Corporation in Russia have already been fully digitized by now. The corporation not only actively introduces digital twin technology, but also constantly improves it, in particular through virtual reality, which allows to better visualize the data. During the design phase, this allows to quickly find and correct errors, and during operation, the virtual graphical environment helps to quickly identify the risk of potential failures and accidents. And last one is energy industry. Digital twins are also relevant to this sphere. For example, a virtual model of the plant's technical processes based on the actual characteristics of the equipment and historical data allowed the Moscow combined heat and power plants 20 to increase its operational efficiency by 4%. This was achieved due to redistribution of loads when changing the regime, short-term planning of equipment composition, and optimization of forecasts of daily requests for heat consumptions according to criterion of maximizing the marginal profit.
And the industrial control systems are not only complex, they are also critical to the operation of industry infrastructure. They form a link between the digital and physical components and interpret the commands that control their installation. Therefore, this key role carries a strong need for the risk management. In the advantage, next slide. In the advantage, one of the main advantages is that they will allow companies to detect problems in advance and resolve them more quickly. They can warn of any future breakdown, incident, or anomaly in their operations. They can even work autonomously by being able to analyze a situation, propose optimized solutions, and put them in operation. All this allows us a series of advantages, such as risks and operativity tools, a production monitoring and optimization, predictive maintenance, quality management, inventory optimization and supply chain optimization, product monitoring, product development. And when a company builds a digital replica of its products, the environment in which it operates and the systems that produce them can predict virtually everything that will happen in the physical world. For engineers, digital twins are very useful because by having a detailed history of the previous model, they can correct errors and create new, more reliable versions. In the problems, there is a lack of adaptation of well-established cybersecurity mechanisms by clients, the access of a single point of responsibility and an agreed methodology and process, and practices for the integration of OT security solutions made the path very difficult. Although there have been some changes in the regard and investment in security, the failure is not resolved. Another problem is the ensure of the integrity of the data, because in the industrial world, data alteration can be as serious as data theft. This was one of the main lessons learned after the StuxNet virus. The industrial sector needs a genuine guarantee of the integrity of the commands issued and the information received by various devices. And another problem is that few people outside those working on digital twins understand the concept and what it represents. It seems like that there is still a big gap in understanding in the industry around the difference between a model and a digital twin. And the risks. In the risk, one risk is that guarantee the ability of the industrial installation, because industrial facilities must always be operational and overload networks loss of connectivity or DDoS, attack can break the chain of control, causing an unexpected interruption which can compromise installation. Another risk is maintaining the integrity of the digital twin, because preventive and predictive maintenance, simulation of changes, control of energy consumption levels, the possibilities offered by digital twins are numerous. But if the digital twin becomes corrupted and returns faulty information, the consequences at production time could be dramatic. And another risk is to facilitate collaboration between the OT and IT departments, which greater knowledge in terms of cybersecurity risk and best practices. The IT information systems are most collaborate with OT to ensure the acquisition of the most efficient security solutions. But however, when the tools are different, the exchange can be more complex. And one last risk is that anticipating the risk of IoT, because it has favored technological developments that can put the industry at risk, whether adding sensors to predict failures or optimizing productions with the power of cloud computing. These technologies involve the feedback of information flows between the facility and the outside, and this can be a gateway for cyber attacks. And in conclusion, we can say that we achieve a protected and a safe environment for experimentation with this technology. Being able to detect problems before they occur, plan maintenance tasks, avoiding unexpected stops, build new, more efficient operating scenarios, develop new business opportunities and new manufacturing plans, or even make future forecasts. Some of the leading companies in this field of automation and emerging technology have opted for the use of this technology. And therefore, big data technologies can be complemented with digital twinning to create alternative production scenarios. And the ultimate goal, still far from becoming reality, is to have a large between factory that allows us to simulate multitude of scenarios, that is testing changes in production, products, or at any point in the change without affecting the actual physical operation. And it's clear that in the short term, immediate savings are not achieved, but in a period of 5 or 10 years, who has not taken this step may not be able to compete. Reason why most of them manufacturers that bet on this, seeing the return on this investment, the most desirable benefit of the digital twins. In this way, suppliers will be able to send manufacturers the double digital of the products they need to test the assemble of their components in a virtual factory and detecting problems in a preventive way. That's it for our group. Thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you very much for respecting the timeline. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I kindly invite the opposing teams to ask questions. We have two opposing teams, two opponents teams. So, ladies and gentlemen, which team is ready to start?
Team number 2.
Vlada is writing to me that the team 3 is ready to start. So if nobody minds, I kindly invite Vlada and her team to start asking questions.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So
a little bit louder, Vlada. I have some problems hearing you.
Do you hear me now?
It's better. Thank you very much.
So our first question is: we know that there already exists the definition like model. So what is the difference between digital twin and model? That is the question.
Do you mean the 3D modeling?
yes, kinda.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you prefer, you may have 2 minutes to prepare your answer.
Oh, thank you. Can I ask you for turn off my demonstration? Or
No
it should
problem, no problem.
Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, I would like to ask the team number 3, how many questions do you have, guys?
We have 7 questions.
Sorry?
7 questions we have.
Oh, good job. Excellent.
So I think I can answer these questions.
Please try.
If you are ready to listen to.
The core principle of difference between model and digital twin is equivalent in the virtual world. 3D modeling are using only for design or for visualizing the physical objects, when digital twins, on the contrary, are used for controlling, for managing the using these things through its whole life cycle, like for design, for execute, for changing, and it is require the data in the real time.
That's all.
So I can say that 3D modeling is just a part of digital twin. That's all.
Okay. Okay. Next question, please.
Okay, thank you. Our next question is, when it is useful to use or implement digital twin and when it is not?
Good question. Do you need some time to prepare your answer?
No, I think I'm ready to answer.
Okay, great.
Well, the benefits of digital twin differs depending when and where it is used. For example, using digital twin to monitor existing products such as wind turbine or oil pipeline. It also can reduce maintenance burdens and save many millions in associated costs. Also, digital twins can be used for prototyping ahead of manufacture, reducing product defects and shortening time to market. Well, it is useful to use digital twin in daily life, for example, for school projects or university projects. It's mainly used in large companies or firms who project certain projects. That's the answer.
Okay. Okay. Next question, please.
Can you please provide examples of situations when it is not useful to use digital twins?
Okay.
I think this type of digital technology allows companies of all sizes to meet their demands and reduce time to market. I think in a term of 5-10 years, it will be necessary for all sizes of companies. So it's for the company who wants to implement it because the benefit is there.
Okay, that's all, Alex.
Yes.
Okay. Next question, please. The question number 3.
Okay.
I'm very interested in the case when we can use this digital twin in the healthcare. And my question is it possible to create a digital twin of a person for medical purposes? For example, to predict some disease, because as we know, doctors are more sensible and they can more accurately predict some symptoms. Because if we take, for example, two people and they have the same symptoms, and for one it can be like a very easy illness, and for example it can lead to the death. What do you think in this case this digital twin will be useful or not?
Do we need time, guys?
When we were preparing our presentation, I find some information about that. There are already several companies creating digital twins for human organs. For example, the brain has created already in Switzerland, I guess. Philips company has created a clinical application for the heart, which creates 3D view of heart based on the ultrasound images. And I guess it is useful in healthcare system because it can predict some consequences of diseases.
Also, I want to add that in the future, doctors want to create a digital twin of mice, because it will be easier to test certain medicines on the digital mice and see the possible problems and reactions on mice. Sorry, and it will be cheaper, and it won't be harmful for people to try certain new medicine.
Okay.
Okay, so our next question is, in terms of costs, are digital twins a luxury or a need for most firms?
Very good.
Currently for...
Well, okay.
Yeah, you can.
As I said before, it's saves a lot of money because many companies need digital twins because it will predict the possible problems in the future of a projected product or process. That's why it will be. It's not a luxury thing, in my opinion.
Yes, we think that currently it's for strong companies that are capable of implementing it, but companies that have already implemented it see its benefit in the medium-long term, not to mention that it will be essential in a few years and a great advantage in any industry. So it's for all sizes of companies and it's not a luxury.
And I want to add why currently the digital twins are using only in big companies, big enterprises. It is because they have resources for trying it, for testing it, and for applying in their production.
Okay. Next question, please.
Okay. How do you think? How can we measure the economic success of digital twins development?
Ladies and gentlemen, do you need time?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, I will help you a little bit because we have some sound problems, I would say. So how can we measure the economic efficiency of digital twins? How we can evaluate the economic impact of these digital twins on a company? How we can actually understand that a digital twin is efficient for our company or if it is not?
I think it's already in the results of many companies, and it allows many companies of all sizes to meet their demands and reduce time to market by almost 50%, and improve the flexibility and increase the productivity up to 20%, which determines the competitiveness of these companies.
Okay, so thanks to digital twins, things go faster, so to say.
Yeah, the companies could save us 70% of energy, an issue that will have an important cost reduction for both the producer and the end consumer.
Okay. That's all for this question. Ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Next question, please.
Okay, now our next question is, as we know, the introduction of these digital twins can cause that many professions in the design which make paper drawings in some companies and paper technical reports, this profession will become irrelevant and outdated, which in the future may, in some case, increase the unemployment rate. What do you think? Is it possible to provide different solutions to this situation, and what kind of solutions should we propose?
Ladies and gentlemen.
So it is about effects of digital twins to unemployment, right?
Right.
In my point of view, spreading of digital twins will not affect so hard on unemployment rate as, for example, mechanization of production it does. I will explain my point of view. Digital twins only helps people to do their work more productive, more safely. They help to quickly access to the engineering data of objects, of equipment, and help to analyze it. But digital twins does not replace human work as organization do. So anyway, even if digital twins are applied in some production processes, the human work cannot be replaced by them.
Okay.
That is my answer.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah, okay. The last question is, what quality should a digital twin model have? Yes, that's all.
Could you please repeat your question? I'm afraid I didn't catch it.
Okay, what qualities should a digital twin model have?
Well, could you please specify? What do you mean by quality?
You mean the K of?
Is it some characteristic of digital?
Yes. Which characteristics should digital twin features characteristics?
In order to make it useful for a company, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's try.
I would say that this question is too general because for each physical object our new digital twin is creating. So it must be produced with specific, with new characteristic, with new data requirements. It is really a complex thing. But if ignore it and say in general, digital twin should be detailed as possible. It is firstly, and I will say that it should be integrated with other equipment of enterprises. If that is my answer, if I get the question right.
Okay.
Also, I want to add also, as I remember, there are several types of digital twins: product, production, and performance, and they are all used for different purposes. That's why I can't answer correctly to this question. So.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you have more questions?
Actually, we haven't got any more questions. We just would like to go to the floor for the next group.
Okay, okay, we can go to the next group, to the next team. Ladies and gentlemen, the team number 2, if I'm not mistaken.
So, I've listened to your great presentations. Thank you for it. And we have a question. Who is the main competitor in this field in the world? And second question, what countries do invest in such technologies the most?
Okay, very specific questions, so why not? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to answer?
Yes, I can say about some examples.
Okay.
Nowadays, the most the leader of the on the markets of digital twins are IBM. They are invented, if I'm not mistaken, about more than $3 billion in digital twins. Second one is Siemens, I guess, that works with engineering professionals to enable better productivity and performance. And third one, I will say that it is Tesla. Tesla Motors, because they have digital twins of every car they are producing to for improving their productivity. And what is second question? Can you repeat, please?
Danny, could you please repeat?
Yeah. Second question was about the countries who invest the most in such technologies.
Okay. Nowadays, Asia Pacific region would grow at the highest pace, I think, in this market because they are. It is attributed to their huge investments in the IT sectors, in deployment of artificial intelligence and IoT. Honestly, about the particular countries, I don't know. Maybe my colleagues would say.
Mm,
Some ideas, guys? Okay, probably no. Okay, anyway, thank you very much for your information. Dear opponents, do you have more questions?
Yes, of course. We have about 4 of them.
Okay, great, Sophia. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let us continue. Well, I was wondering if this technology is suitable for a current situation on Russian B2C market. Let us take automobile production, for example. Well, the purchase power of the population is rather low. And it seems to me that implementation of digital twins technology would significantly increase the price of the products. So therefore, I have a question. How economically viable is the implementation of digital twin technology in automobile production? Does it decrease the price of a final product by saving money on crash tests and in the beginning of production? Or does the technology itself make the product more expensive?
Excellent, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to answer?
I think we answered a similar question with the first group. It's clear that in the short term, immediate savings are not achieved, but in a period of 5 or 10 years, it's a key to compete in all the industries, because as I said, it improves the flexibility and increases the productivity up to the 20%, which determines the competitiveness of any company.
Okay.
But still, we don't see widespread examples. I mean, you have mentioned Tesla company, and they are producing mostly luxury cars. And for them, it is suitable to use this digital twins technology. But I haven't really heard of any other automobile producers to use this technology.
Actually, I would comment a little bit on a question, if you don't mind. Ladies and gentlemen, what is important for us to understand? Okay, Tesla is a very good, very innovative company, but the question was about the implementation of digital twins in the Russian automotive industry. So, given the low purchasing power of Russian customers, given the decrease in markets, okay, is it reasonable for Russian companies to invest in digital twins? Will there be an economic effect in this case? Okay, indeed, digital twins may help to make production more efficient, obviously, but from the technological point of view, still they will require investments, obviously. And well, in case of this unstable market, how should we evaluate the viability of digital twins in Russian automotive industry? Sophie, did I get your question?
Yes, you got it correctly.
Ladies and gentlemen, I perfectly understand that you may not have the precise information, but probably your intuition and your logic would help you to give us an opinion, so to say, on this subject.
I think that it's for companies that have an annual revenue above 5 billion. This initiative will be for them. I don't know really good how strong is the industry of cars in Russia, but in the economic aspect, I'm sure that they already started, at least proving this technology. So in the short term, I think that there will be the results, but I don't know that we can compare the American market of cars, for example, Tesla with Russian cars. So I think in the short term, there is no savings achieved.
Okay. Next question, please.
Well, the next question would be, what is the historical background for such technology as digital twins to appear? Was it the development of the Internet of Things or anything more?
Well, digital twin was invented by David Galanters in 1991 in Florida Institute of Technology. And then it was used in NASA to, the idea was to create digital simulations of space capsules and craft for testing. And this digital twin concept spread further still in 2017.
Okay, so it's rather
Yes,
modern.
further question.
Okay, Sophia, could you please go to the next question?
Yes, the next question is, you have mentioned in your presentation several types of digital twins. So the question is, where are every of these types of digital twins are used, and are they used only separately, or they can be used at the same time?
Very good.
Well, the first one was a digital twin prototype. It's a prototype of the physical asset. It's like a recipe for creating an asset. And the second one was digital twin instance. It is created from the prototype. So this is the twin of a physical asset. The DTI stays linked to the physical asset through its life cycle. And it typically contains data retelling to in-use conditions as captured through the sensors, historical state, predicted states, and etc. And the last one was a digital twin aggregate. It is an aggregate of many DTIs. So it means that from one type, we create another type. So we can say that all three types are used at the same time. We can't use it separately.
Okay. And the next question, what are the ways for future development of this technology? For example, what new types of digital twins can appear?
It's hard to say about new types of digital twins because this technology is relatively a new one. And it just started to developing and applying. So I think in course of time, this technology will become more accurate, more efficiency, more cheaper, and more stretching maybe in the case of using in different industries. And now I think companies are more interested in minimizing the risks and number of problems of existing type of digital twins than in creating a new one.
And as I mentioned before, as I mentioned before, that there will be digital twins of mice, and computer simulations were then done to determine which drugs would be most effective at treating individual mice. And going forward, this technology could replace the need for dangerous and expensive clinical trials on living people.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't understand your answer clearly. So you claim that the main way of development of this technology is to make today's technologies better, yes?
No, I think this technology involves much more than only the technological dimension. It has to do with new business models, the risk management, or the operational efficiency. So it's about revolutioning the industry with industries with technology and digitalization as I think that's a powerful catalyst.
Okay, more questions?
We have a question about, as you told, digital twins can be used in healthcare, and we wanted to learn, can digital twins technology be helpful for predicting situation with COVID epidemic?
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any ideas?
As I know, there is one company. I don't exactly what company, but they are creating a digital twin that will be like how should I say, the identify persons who has a COVID around it, something like that. But I don't know will it be created or not.
Okay, but still there are some attempts. Okay, more questions? Oh,
well, yeah, we have the last question.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Well, as you have mentioned before, the data twins technology is a very complex technology and relies on the Internet of Things and big data. And just in case of any catastrophe happening, of any data leakages, there might be very harmful consequences. So what should companies do to prevent these catastrophes? Should they invest in data security or do some more research on this topic?
Ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's part of the risks, the maintaining of the integrity of the digital twin. I mean, you mean the data, right?
Yes, I was mostly talking about the risks. Like, are there any ways to overcome these risks and make it more safe, for example?
Well, I think that with the development of technology, the security system will be more reliable. So that will prevent the data leaking.
Okay, just your guess, as I understand it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, do you have more questions?
No, this is it.
Okay, thank you very much for participation, guys. We have one more question in our chat. Asilbek is asking, what should we do? What should we do if there are problems with the internet connection in case of digital twins? How should companies protect themselves against such internet connection risks? And the second question is, what is the price of implementation of digital twins? Do you have any ideas?
I think all the big companies that put this technology, they know that you need a reliable inbound internet connection. Also, to be sure that the machine that connects remotely to the industrial infrastructure is not corrupted, and to avoid these smooth attacks. It's opportune to be able to cut the connection to avoid the human risk.
Okay.
So they know that you need a real reliable inbound of internet connection.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I guess that's it. Actually, I would like to thank all participants in this defense. Actually, I'm very grateful to the first team which decided to present the first topic. It's really great. Thank you very much. I will be honest, it was difficult to find people for this first topic. Well, I sincerely thank our opponents for their great questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I will prepare my comments by weekend so that you could have a feedback. Actually, as you understand, today was our first seminar, so you will get, how should I say, a kind of a premium for this participation, for your courage actually. But starting from the second seminar, all assessment will be as strict as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I thank you for your participation. And now, if you don't mind, I will proceed to the situation with Mr. Bukovsky's group.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what I would like to highlight, actually, students from my class may leave for the break. It is not important for you, actually. Well, guys, what I would like to highlight, it's the information from Mr. Bukovsky's team. We have to form 8 teams. As we were informed during the first lecture and during the first seminar, which was organized by Mr. Lipatnikov, we have 8 topics, and each topic should be taken by one team. So you have to form 8 teams. Normally, we should have started tomorrow. Due to your poor organization, we missed the first seminar. But ladies and gentlemen, we will organize a compensation seminar by the end of the second module, I guess. Now, I kindly ask you to form 8 teams. So you have to reorganize your teams as soon as possible and to select all 8 topics. The presentation of the first topic will take place next week. If you fail to organize yourself, Georgy Bukovsky and myself will divide you in teams ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand this information? You haven't formed 8 teams, you formed just 5. And in addition, we have no presentation for today. Actually, the presentation should have started today. Five topics from 8.
Yeah, of course, dear colleagues, we haven't first 3 presentations, but they are very important for us, and our process is so that we should use all of them. So please divide your groups into smaller groups, because there are a few groups with 5 team members, but it was too much. It is too much for our small whole group, and please divide your group into the smaller team and prepare all the 8 presentations. And I think that is very important to create the deadlines, and please make it by tomorrow. And if you couldn't be able to create more smaller teams, we will make it with Ivan Dmitrich by ourselves. And I think that this way is worse for you, because you will work with new people, with new team members and this relationship will be not so efficient as it could be in your previous group. So please be careful with this dividing, and please make it today, because tomorrow is the deadline of our organization process. Okay. So we have 20. Yeah,
okay, actually, there should be no more than, in case of Mr. Bukovsky's class, his class is the smallest one, actually. So in this case, I would implement the maximum limit at 4 persons, okay? Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Actually from 2 to 4. But ladies and gentlemen, please organize yourself. Actually, this organization is your responsibility. You were informed about it during the first seminar. Actually, you didn't respect the requirements. You didn't meet the requirements. Normally, I should have put zeros for these missed presentations, but I don't want to create additional problems for you. So I give you, honestly, an additional chance to correct the situation. Please form teams, please choose topics, and start your presentation starting the next week. Otherwise, I'm afraid, there may be problems. It's not a threat, actually, but the problem with that, the model of your evaluation, the model of assessment is based on the presence of 8 teams. If we have less teams, we will have to, I'm afraid we will have to reduce your grades, which is not a desirable solution for all of you, or for all of us, for you and for us as teachers. So guys, please organize your teams. If you fail to do so, we will do it ourselves with Georgi. Okay guys, do you understand me? Yes?
Yeah, please use only this email, because I'm always in this mail, and I will be able to answer you in every time. And I have a question in our chat about the other way in using 2 presentations instead of dividing into the new teams. I think that it is the wrong way, because you will be in the same conditions with the other teams by Dmitrich, and in this way we must create the new grade system, and you will be in the different condition with our teams. And this is the wrong way, and I think that the best practice is to change our teams into the more smaller and present all the topics, because this is very important for our process. Okay.
Absolutely right, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you understand the situation. Please try to correct it. And by the end of Thursday, so by the end of tomorrow's evening, we expect to get the new lists of your teams. Please send a letter to Georgi Bukovsky and a copy to my email address, guys. Okay, can you do it? Nikolai, I'm afraid I didn't catch your question. Okay, I have actually two emails, my corporate email and my personal email, but you can use any one of them. I check both. Okay, guys, and don't forget to send me today your opinions. Okay, it's for my students, actually. Don't forget to send me today your opinions about today's defense, your assessment of the presenting teams and your assessment of opponents. Okay, guys, thank you very much for participation and see you in, in half an hour on our lecture. Okay, guys.
One more question, please.
Yes, Valeria?
Can some groups take two topics instead of reorganizing of our groups?
No. Unfortunately, no. There should be one topic for one team.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Valeria, but okay, it's the organization of our process. Okay, guys, thank you very much for participation. Now we have a break and okay, see you at the lecture. Proceed to the new one. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess that last time we finished at this slide. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, I will just remind you a little bit about the content of this slide. Actually, again, please keep it in mind. We will often use the word ecosystem. But actually, there are three types of ecosystems: product ecosystem, industry ecosystem, and corporate ecosystem. In case of an industry ecosystem, what do we have? We have a combination of different actors of an industry, companies, suppliers, banks, etc., which create a whole industry. It is an intricate model of interrelationships between different companies present in a given industry. A product ecosystem is a set of products which are connected into one system. An Apple smartphone and an Apple smartwatch could be a good example, obviously, if we add some more products to it. And a corporate ecosystem, it is precisely what we mean by ecosystem in our course. It is a central company which is surrounded by a set of other service providers. These service providers are combined by this central company into an ecosystem which creates a combined value for its customers. Well, now let's go further. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the impact of digital transformation, of the digital revolution on the economy? In addition to the transformation of different business models, we also have a whole set of new industries, of new types of businesses, which make traditional industries more efficient and more attractive for customers. So, what do we have? Just a few examples. Probably you know these examples, but well, let's repeat. FinTech, FoodTech, InsurTech, and AgriTech. Guys, do you have any ideas what all these techs mean? Ladies and gentlemen. Sorry? I don't hear you. Not really? Okay, you surprised me actually, guys. Okay, all these terms are now buzzwords in the professional literature and in the mass media. Well, FinTech, as you probably understand, FinTech is a combination of finance and technology. So it is a new approach to organization of financial services, to supply of financial products. FinTech, what is it actually? Okay, for example, it is about virtual banks or so-called neobanks. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand what is it? A virtual bank or a neobank? Guys?
Tinkoff.
Tinkoff, you're absolutely right. Don't be so shy. Actually, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely correct. It is about banks which exist in the virtual space only, which are purely internet-based. And Tinkoff indeed is a good example. Actually, as you know, some other banks do implement some virtual technologies. For example, Sberbank, despite its real character, the huge amount of real offices throughout Russia, actually even Sberbank, the biggest and the oldest bank in Russia, moves slowly but steadily to this fintech virtual model. As you know, right now we can access all Sberbank services via its mobile app or via its site. But it's not the only example, guys. Crowdfunding could be another example. In case of crowdfunding, what do we have? We have a direct communication between asset owners, I mean money owners, and persons who need money. So thanks to crowdfunding, you can establish direct relations between people who need money and who has money. So probably the most prominent example of fintech are cryptocurrencies. We will discuss them in more detail by the end of our course, but actually, guys, for the time being, I would like to inform you that cryptocurrency is a new form of digital currency, which exists in digital form only and which is operated algorithmically, contrary to our traditional, normal, so to say, money, which is issued by central banks. Guys, do you follow me? Do you hear me? Okay. What about food tech? I guess you already understand the meaning of this term. It's about technology and food industry. Guys, do you have any ideas what it can mean?
Delivery, maybe.
Excellent. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. In this case, we combine our traditional food industry, fast food industry, etc. So all industries which are related to food production and supplies, we connect all these food industries to technology, to digital technologies. And actually, Delivery Club, the biggest Russian food delivery platform, is an excellent example of a food tech company. In this case, what do we have? We have a company which connects restaurants to customers via a platform. Why not? It is a technology. Nobody will doubt it. Okay, as you know, there are some. Okay, I hope you know there are some other companies. For example, companies which can consult you on your food regime, your web automated consultant on how you should organize your food, what should be the timing for your food, etc. So it is also food tech. InsurTech, guys, any ideas what it can be?
Insurance, maybe.
Absolutely right. Technology plus insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you know about insurance? Okay, I understand that you had no courses in insurance, but probably you have a general idea about this industry. If you have, please share it with us. Okay. Okay, if you are lucky enough, you will get a full compensation, but normally, as you understand, insurance company try to avoid payments. Okay, they are financial companies, or they are capitalist companies. They're profit-oriented companies, so it's quite normal. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the problem actually? In case of insurance companies, indeed, you pay a small amount of money and you get a coverage for your risks. But as you understand, for different persons, risks are different. If you are an accurate driver, in this case, your risks are relatively low. In case you are, I don't know, a racer, in this case, okay, or especially a street racer, in this case, your risks are definitely huge. And well, a company, an insurance company, should be able to adapt your payments to your level of risks. Now, as you understand, thanks to smart technologies, thanks to smart connected products, an insurance company can collect full information about your driving style, your driving history, your conflicts with the road police, etc. And it can adapt a payment to your real risk profile. Indeed, if you're a risky person, you will pay more. But good news is that in case you are an accurate driver, an accurate user, in this case, you have a low level of risks and you will pay less. Guys, do you understand it? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and agri-tech, we discussed it a little bit earlier, but well, what it means, it's about agriculture and technology. In this case, we have fully automated farms, fully digitally controlled farms with robots, with artificial intelligence which organizes the work of these farms, etc. Actually, we can control everything up to the regime of watering of our plants. It can greatly increase the efficiency of our farms. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is it? We have traditional industries, finance, food, insurance, and agriculture, and we add some technology to it. It is not just a word combination, fintech, finance plus technology. It is a deep transformation of approach towards the organization of our interactions with customers, towards our business model, actually. We add some technologies, and thanks to it, we get a better control over our processes, over our customers, and over our business organization. Guys, is it clear? Ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm afraid there are only 2 persons present at this online course. Guys, I kindly ask you to participate more actively. Okay, now let's continue. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about philosophy actually, but I hope it may be interesting for you to understand the levels of digital transformation. Okay, actually the digital transformation occurs at different levels, on different levels. The most obvious level, which is visible to all of us, is the economy level. The global economy, the national economy, the term digital. Traditional real-world business models are steadily replaced by new digital models. A few examples would suffice. Again, normal taxi parks are replaced by Uber. Normal hotels are being replaced by Airbnb, etc. People is expecting that, okay, traditional money will be replaced by cryptocurrencies. Actually, it's very hard to believe in it, but it is not impossible either, because cryptocurrencies have good, okay, prospects from the technological point of view. Digital transformation takes place on the industry level. What does it mean? Relations within a given industry can deeply change. We will analyze it a little better. Company level. Companies also turn digital. Sberbank is a very good example. A traditional, very rigid company is being transformed into a modern company, with a very high level of digitalization. And well, product level. We also analyzed it in our previous lecture. Right now, I would like to remind you that new products are smart and connected products. products that can gather information about the environment, that can organize their work, and then can exchange the results of their functions with the external environment and with other devices, obviously. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand it? Of course, go ahead. Excellent question, excellent question. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any ideas about this question? Are these levels independent or they are, so to say, interconnected?
I think they are interconnected and parallel.
Okay, normally guys, actually, theoretically, we can analyze them separately. But in the real life, they are interdependent. As soon as we try to change, for example, our company at the company level, as soon as we try to organize our business model in a more digital way, it will immediately have an impact onto our product and onto our relations with other agents within the same industry. So it means that while the deepest digital transformation happens at the company level, other levels of the system will also be under this impact. Guys, do you understand? Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, let's continue. Now, let's go to the digital transformation of an industry. Ladies and gentlemen, have you analyzed this picture?
No.
No, okay, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, we have two pictures actually. Okay, we have two versions of the same picture. What does it mean, guys? We have the digital transformation of the energy industry, of the power industry. How it is now being transformed, how it is now turning digital. If you look at this picture, you will immediately see that the changes occur at all levels of this industry. Actually, we have here a presentation of the industry ecosystem, which includes production, market, supplies, and relations with customers. And in this picture, we see that all these aspects of the industry ecosystem are going, are turning digital due to the ongoing digital transformation. First of all, let's analyze the level of production. For the traditional power sector, the domination of few large power plants was typical. Big power plants, nuclear, hydro, I don't know, coal, etc. Absolutely right, absolutely right. So the production was dominated by these power plants. Now, what do we have? Obviously, these large power plants did not disappear; they still exist. But they are complemented now by new types of producers. Small power producers. Here you see additional pictures. They are green producers. Solar power, as you see, wind power, etc. So new small power producers emerge. They complement the existing ecosystem and they change it deeply. What about market? The traditional energy market is centralized and mostly national. What does it mean? The electric power is sold and supplied within one national economy, and it is sold on a centralized energy market. Now, what do we have? The energy market is becoming decentralized. It means that in addition to central relations, we also have direct relations between different users. And in addition, there are more centers, more than one center. Thanks to it, all users can communicate to each other and they can find better terms for themselves. Well, and a very important thing, at least theoretically, this new energy market doesn't care about boundaries, about official state borders. Energy can be freely sold as well, it can be freely sold inside the country as well as outside. What about transmission? Ladies and gentlemen, as you understand, the places of production of energy are separated sometimes by huge distances. They are separated from customers, from consumers of this energy. So the energy should be delivered from the point of production to the point of consumption. What did we have earlier and still have, obviously, because as I have already said, the energy sector is being transformed, but all the forms of business organization still survive. Well, in case of traditional business, in case of traditional energy, the transmission is based on large power lines and huge pipelines. Now the situation is different. Small-scale transmissions appear, which connects users directly to each other and which ensure higher accessibility of energy to different companies and to different users. What else? What about distribution? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very interesting point. As you see on the left part of our picture, we have top to bottom relations. So the relations are organized and dominated by the suppliers and producers. And well, they are only suppliers. As we see at the bottom level of this picture, at this level we have customers, which are passive and only paying. What does it mean? They do not take decisions about energy. They simply get connected to the network and they simply pay. That's all. Now what happens? We have here a beautiful green home, which is with an indication, active and participating in the system. Guys, do you understand what it means? Active and participating in the system.
No, it's not clear for me, but having some imagination.
Ladies and gentlemen, maybe you have some ideas?
Maybe I understood.
Please try.
I think nowadays you can buy a solar panel, a small solar panel for your house, and so it means that you are actually producing energy. But maybe 30 years ago you can't do it. You couldn't do it, and so you were not able to produce energy. You had to buy it.
That's right. In case of the traditional energy sector, you simply buy energy from suppliers. Now, you are absolutely correct. You can buy a solar power station or wind station, and you can produce energy. Basically, you start producing energy for yourself, for your home. But nobody forbids you to produce more energy than you need. So in this case, you have an excess of energy. What should you do with this energy? Okay, normally you may buy, technically you can buy an additional TV. But if you don't need more devices, more gadgets, in this case, you may sell this excessive energy to other customers. Guys, do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ask a question. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what I would like to highlight, all these opportunities, all these possibilities sound like a theory for us, but technically it is not. In Russia, we don't have such developed infrastructure. As you understand, our infrastructure is organized for the needs of big traditional energy producers. for big transmission of energy, etc. So our infrastructure is within the older technological paradigm. But in Europe and in America, in the US, I mean, the new technological paradigm is quickly gaining place. What does it mean? They are building new infrastructure at the market level, as you see at the picture, which is decentralized. Simple access of customers to this market is possible. Now, they organize the energy transmission infrastructure, and they organize the market. It means they organize the possibility of access of small producers and small users to this market. What is the problem actually? It is more efficient from the point of view of management, from the point of view of state management, I would say, to have a limited number of big producers of energy. But well, now, if we want to include all these small producers of energy into our market, we have to organize a network which is able to deal with hundreds or even thousands of small producers. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes.
Can you repeat, please?
Sorry?
Can you repeat, please?
Well, actually now, contrary to the situation with a limited number of big power producers, if you want to ensure access of small producers to the market, you should be able to organize a network with hundreds or even thousands of small producers. It is very difficult from the point of view of management. Because, okay, they supply very small amounts of energy, and they are very, very numerous. It is different to organize them within the same network. But now we have smart grids which can easily adapt to different levels of energy production, grids which are organized by artificial intelligence, and which can quickly and easily react to different changes in energy supply and in energy consumption. And thanks to this, small producers like these smart homes can easily access the market. This situation is typical for small European countries like Denmark. There, they even have zero energy consuming houses. Guys, do you understand what it means?
Yes.
Yes, like greenhouses, yeah, or not?
Okay, greenhouse is a little bit different thing. Ladies and gentlemen, what it means? Zero energy consumption describes the situation when your house doesn't consume energy from external sources. In this case, your house produces all energy you need itself, thanks to solar power, wind power, maritime power, etc. And again, you may have an excess in production, and you can supply your energy to new markets, to external markets. And you see the difference, guys, on these two pictures. On the left side, we have passive consumers, which only pay for energy they consume, and top to bottom relations. And in case of new energy ecosystem, we have active producers, active customers actually, which can also act as producers. And we have both types of relations, top to bottom and bottom to top. So it means that customers cannot, they can not only produce, they can not only consume energy, but they can also supply this energy into the general energy system. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes.
But what about the restrictions by government on taxes?
Could you please repeat? I don't hear you actually.
What about governmental restrictions?
Okay, you're absolutely right. In Russia, for example, it is impossible to organize such supplies due to legal restrictions. But in Denmark, as I have already said, they have a regulation which is very favorable to such deals. In addition, guys, what we should keep in mind, we can supply energy in small community. Let's imagine a cottage community near St. Petersburg. I don't know, 100 homes. In this case, you may organize your own energy market. Some homes are energy excessive, and some may need external energy. In this case, you may supply your neighbors with the energy they need. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes, it's clear. Can you share some articles which is connected with producing this kind of energy, please? Because there are a lot of unreliable resources, but it would be better if you.
Sorry, I actually don't hear you.
Hello? Is it okay?
Okay, it's a little bit better, but not so good actually.
I will try to write.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, now let's go to the next slide. How we can describe the economy which is generated by the digital transformation. Okay, obviously it is digital economy based on digital technologies, on virtual reality, etc. But it is also access economy. What does it mean, guys? As you probably remember, in case of digital economy, you don't buy products. You don't get the right of ownership over assets you may need. You simply access them when you need them. It is true for business companies, it is true for private users. Again, as a private user, instead of buying a car, you use Uber or, I don't know, Yandex Drive as a car sharing company. In case you are a business company, a business venture, in this case, you don't buy assets you need for your business process. You simply accept them on a temporary basis. In case you are an airline, for example, you simply lease an airplane you need. Guys, do you understand it? Ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, why not? I just didn't want to disturb you by my face. Okay, if you prefer to see my face, okay. It's your choice, guys. Well, so now, one more thing which is also should be kept in mind, it is inclusion economy. What does it mean, ladies and gentlemen? Inclusion economy. In this case, we would like to specify that, okay, economic agents become dependent on each other. As I already said, now we have dependent customers. Technically, okay, officially they are independent, but technically they are included into corporate information systems, thanks to recommendation systems, etc. We have dependent entrepreneurs. What does it mean? Okay, as a small AliExpress supplier, we are formally independent, but obviously we can survive only in cooperation with AliExpress. Well, if we want to sell our products on the global market, we will have to proceed via Amazon. There is no other choice for us. So we are included into Amazon ecosystem, and it is exactly what I mean. It is inclusion economy which suppose economic agents become dependent, or better, there are companies which dominate the market and companies which are dominated. So companies which become dependent on their big competitors or their big suppliers. Guys, do you understand it? Well, Well, actually, what we should understand, in the past, the picture was similar, but not precisely the same. Companies tried to get ownership over their partners, over their competitors, over other market players. So they tried to buy these companies. They tried to control them officially, directly. Now there is no direct control. As you understand, AliExpress does not control officially their suppliers. Uber has no official control over their drivers, but still they are dependent on these platforms. Still they are controlled by these platforms. And it is exactly what I mean. It is about inclusion economy. It is not about ownership economy. It is about inclusion. It is about dependence, but not a real, how should I say, ownership. Do you understand? Okay, so, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's repeat in short some facts we have already exposed for our analysis. Now, what are benefits and risks for companies that are generated by digital transformation? For companies, what do we get? We get a lower cost, obviously. Thanks to digitalization, we can reduce our cost. We can transform our business process, at least partially, into a virtual format. Digital twins, exactly what we discussed during our previous seminar. So, thanks to this virtual transformation, thanks to this virtualization, we can reduce our cost. We can reduce our cost thanks to access economy. We don't buy things we need, we simply get access to it for the time we need it. So we rent things, we lease them, but we don't buy them. We don't hire people for a stable employment contract. We simply partner with external suppliers, with, so to say, with external human resources to solve problems we want to solve. So, again, as I have already said, Uber does not hire its drivers. It's simply, okay, it simply provides them a possibility to work for Uber. Well, we get a wider audience, obviously. In case of a traditional company, our audience is limited by the people which is in direct access to our premises, to our shops, etc. Now, thanks to internet, we really go global. We can sell our products on the global scale. Anybody who has access to internet is a potential customer for our company. What else? We get control over customers, a very important thing. Well, it means thanks to the big data, thanks to the user's profile, we can control and manipulate the behavior of our customers. We can nudge them, we can drive them to the decisions which are profitable for us, not for our customers. So customers may become a source of income for our company, which is really very, very good. What are risks or maybe shortcomings of digital transformation? Higher investments. Ladies and gentlemen, during our previous seminar, somebody asked about the price of digital transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, it is very, very high. But now, could you please tell me, is there any contradictions between two statements? In the left part of the slide, we see a lower cost for customers. But at the right side, we see the contrary, higher investments. How we can reconcile these two statements? How do you think?
May I answer, please?
Of course, go ahead.
I think if high investment is a risk for company, and when the company takes in higher investments and digital transformation, it produce low costs. I think to pay this investment will be risky, and that's why they are contradict. Low cost, it's a benefit because of high investment that can be lost.
Absolutely right. Excellent. In case of digital transformation, we have to incur higher investments, obviously, because we have to purchase or we have to invest into new technologies, new machinery, etc., into new software, obviously. But well, thanks to these investments, we can get a lower cost of production, low operating cost. Ladies and gentlemen, the problem is that we have a very dramatic contradiction. In order to become digital, we have to invest a lot of money into this transformation. But as soon as this transformation is done, okay, in this case, we have lower cost for our operational activities. Guys, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. And well, dependence on digital suppliers. Ladies and gentlemen, this point is not so often analyzed, but well, as you understand, only very big companies can be able to ensure the whole digital infrastructure they need, to ensure, software, transmission centers, etc. In many cases, smaller companies do cooperate with external service providers, resource providers, so that the resources they needed could be supplied on demand by external partners. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what is the problem? We increase the number of resources, we need thanks to cooperation with digital suppliers. But okay, due to this cooperation, we become dependent on these suppliers. We simply may be refused access to these resources in case of problems. Well, it is really a big problem. In case of digital transformation, we have to cooperate with our partners, and we should always keep in mind that these relations may be broken up, may be cancelled by our partner. Guys, is it clear?
I have a question.
Yes, of course.
It's very interesting to know the time of recoupment, high investment in digital business. I mean, for example, if I want to launch some company which produce energy from, for example, sun energy, sun plants, and of course it demands a huge investment. But and my product energy will cost lower than original one or simple one. But I'm really interested how long it takes to recoupment.
Okay, actually there is no general answer. It depends on the industry you're in. In case you are in the solar power, the payback period may be pretty long, up to 10 or even more years. In case you worked with automation, in this case, okay, the payback period is pretty short, 1 year or maybe even less. So it really depends. We should take into account the specificity of the technology we use. Okay?
Yes, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's how it works. So we have benefits, we have risks, and okay, when we invest, when we decide to turn digital, we should always keep in mind not only benefits we can get. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very good presentation on digital twins prepared by the first team from my class. So they analyzed advantages and disadvantages. When we take a decision about investments into new technology, we should always understand the balance of advantages and disadvantages. Of course, we have to calculate the financial results of our project. But in addition to this calculation, we must perform a qualitative analysis of our project. We have to know if the if the balance of benefits and risks, if the balance of pros and cons is for this project, not against it. Because again, let's look at the picture. Technically, we can get lower cost for our company in case we invest into new technologies. But it may well be that the investment into this technology will be for us too high. And in this case, this investment will be too risky for us. Guys, do you understand it?
But why this kind of eco products, for example, in our case, it's energy, why it demands a huge amount of money investments? Why?
Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any ideas? Please try. Okay, I will add a little bit to your point, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, what should we understand in case of new green energy? New green energy is much more expensive than the traditional energy. It is unstable. As you understand, if you use a nuclear power station, you regulate the level of production yourself. In case of solar power, you have no control over energy production. You control, you cannot control it. Luis, I see you, just a moment. You cannot control it, and you must have reserve energy capacities. In addition, you are absolutely correct. This technology is new, and the level of production of new machinery, of new equipment, is not so high to ensure the effect of economies of scale. Due to these problems, actually, the green energy is very, very expensive. Actually, it is economically efficient thanks to tax legislation only. As you probably know, in countries where green energy is incentivized, it is incentivized through taxes, thanks to government grants, thanks to which, governments normally compensate this price difference in order to make this energy affordable to final users. And well, in case your energy is too expensive, in this case, your payback period will be very, very long. Do you understand it? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay, and Luis, you have a question. Could you please tell us what you would like to know?
Yes, so my question is, I understand the point that is not maybe as efficient in terms of productivity. However, in terms of the environment and in terms of the long term, couldn't we say that green energies are more efficient in a way that you prevent a lot of other costs? Like, for example, China that is translating to green energies because it's actually more expensive for them to keep using gas and oil?
Well, actually, you're right. But now we have a very complicated problem. We have to make the so-called intertemporal choice. Either we spend more now or we spend more later. And the more typical model of decision-making in the field of investments is preference for lower spending right now. Well, it is indeed ecology efficient, you're absolutely right. But ladies and gentlemen, it also increases the price of energy. And well, Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how should I say? How should I explain it? Do you know why? Okay, do you know the ecological catastrophe in Indonesia?
When it happens?
Well, actually, we have a similar catastrophe in Africa, close to the Chad Lake. Probably have heard about it. So, what is the problem, actually, guys? In case of Indonesia, local population is destroying woods. How do you think? Why?
Because it's very dry or wet. Or
the problem is that the population is poor. They want to survive. They do not care about the future of these woods. They destroy it now. They sell woods to export them, to sell them on the market, and to get money to improve their level of life. Guys, do you understand?
Yes, I get your point. Yes, it's clear.
So actually, the problem is that you are ready to invest into ecology when you are rich enough, when you can care about the ecology, about the environment. Now, the human psychology is that we take the nature for granted, if you understand what I mean. We don't care about small damages to the nature, to the ecology, to the environment. But as you understand, if a lot of people does small damage, the damage will be huge. It is called the tragedy of commons. Probably you can analyze this in the economic theory. The problem with that, okay, you should understand that you can be a responsible customer when you have enough money. When you fight to survive, in this case, okay, you will not care about ecology, about rare animals, etc. You will hunt these animals to survive and to get some money to live. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes, you mentioned about the catastrophe, such kind of catastrophe in economy. Can you write down on the chat, because I'm really interested in.
Okay, I can do it. Okay, tragedy of commons. You can check this information in Wikipedia. It is a very popular exposition of this problem. Okay, what about Indonesia, guys? You can check it about woods in Indonesia. There is a lot of information about it. Well, there are some other examples, guys. There are some other examples. If you are interested, you may check the situation with the small Nauru Island. Have you ever heard about this island?
No. Yes.
Nauru Island. Okay, guys, check the information on Wikipedia. I will not repeat it.
I heard.
Okay. It is really...
Could you write down on the chat, please? Oh, okay, yeah.
Just a moment, okay? May I finish? Well, so you may check this information. It is really a really good example of irresponsible behavior of local population. Well, guys, so from the technical point of view, as I have already said, green energy is more expensive, and this is why it is less attractive for many users. Okay, I see, Valentina. Thank you very much. Tragedy of commons, absolutely right. Asilbek, could you please specify what you mean by stock market? What you wanted to clarify?
I want to clarify about the fintech. I want to add something about.
Well, go ahead if you have something to add.
I think the stock markets are example for fintech or not?
Well, stock markets can be an example of fintech, but if we take into account the fact that a stock market is dominated by robots. As you know, no living creature are now selling or buying on stock markets because they are too fast. Really, that's right. So it is very difficult for a human being to be able to react to this dramatic and very swift changes of the situation on stock markets. And well, stock markets are now dominated by robots. So all transactions are made by robots, which are programmed to follow some trends. And well, it may create some problems in case when algorithms are imperfect. It may destroy the market because, okay, robots cannot understand the trend and may take wrong decisions, as you understand what I mean. So stock markets are indeed a good example of fintech, but it is, how should I say, it is a somewhat exotic example of fintech, because when we discuss financial technology, fintech, okay, we mostly discuss personal investments, personal money, banking, insurance, etc. Okay, insurance is basically insurtech. So stock market is a little bit outside this domain, but technically you're absolutely right. Stock market can be analyzed as an example of fintech. Okay, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I'm not so fast in answering your question in chat because, okay, I don't always can open it. So I apologize for this inconvenience. If you have some urgent questions, please don't hesitate to ask via micro. There is no problem for me. So let's continue. Let's continue. Sorry. Well. Now, what about benefits for customers and risk for customers? We have already analyzed it a little bit, but again, let's repeat. Wider choice of products. Ladies and gentlemen, it's absolutely right. It can be measured at the global level or on a corporate level. Actually, what it means? Now, thanks to the global digital economy, you can buy your products in Russia, in the USA, in China, I don't know, in Korea, etc. So you can buy products anywhere you prefer. And obviously you have a wider choice of products, which is obviously great. Again, in case you buy a car for a long period of time, and it will be the same car for a long period of time. You have no possibility to change your car every day or even every week. In case of car sharing, the situation is absolutely different. You can use different models of cars which you prefer. So you have an access to a wider choice of products. Obviously, you have a lower cost of usage. Again, car sharing. In case you buy a car, you have to pay the full price. In case of car sharing, you only pay for the time you really use this car. You reduce the cost of usage, which is good for you, obviously. Higher personalization. Well, it is a marketing tool, but it is also valuable for us because now we have too much information about products. Again, a wider choice of products. We will never be able to see all movies which are available on Netflix, okay? We will never be able to buy, I don't know, all products which are available on Amazon. We need recommendations. We need help not to get lost in this, how should I say, in this storm of products. Well, higher personalization will help us a little bit. We get personal recommendations. We can adapt products and needs. We can adapt our, how should I say, our personal preferences to our real needs, thanks to these recommendations. And thanks to this, of course, our consumption will be more comfortable for us. Well, higher value. Ladies and gentlemen, what is it? Now, thanks to smart connected products, we don't just get a basic product. We get a product with additional features, which is also good for us. Well, we get a phone, but it is not just a phone, it is a smartphone, which has a lot of functions which simplify our life, etc., etc., etc. So thanks to this digital transformation, the value we get on the market is higher. Well, access to products and services. Ladies and gentlemen, this question is not always discussed in sources on digital transformation, but I want you to understand it. It is about helping people to get access to products and services. Well, again, have you ever heard about M-Pesa project in Tanzania and Kenya?
No.
Well, what is it, guys? It is an SMS mobile payment service. In these African countries, the financial infrastructure is not so developed. And it is somewhat difficult for people to get access to banking services. And Vodafone company, I guess you have heard about this huge telecom operator. Vodafone company, which is present in Tanzania and Kenya, both of these countries, it launched this system of SMS payments. Absolutely right. I remember it, but okay, I'm really sad that you forgot about it, guys. So what it means actually? Thanks to this technology, poor people get access to financial services, which is pretty good. So thanks to okay, now again. If you live in a forgotten part of your home country, okay, I don't know, if you live in Spain, probably it is not the case, but if you live in Russia, okay, there is a lot of forgotten parts in our huge territory. So in this case, you may not have access to services you may need. Well, thanks to internet, you get access to all services which are available on internet. What are risks? Okay. Higher level of control. Okay, it is the dark side, I would say, the dark side of higher personalization. Ladies and gentlemen, companies, as you understand, collect information about you, and they use this information to manipulate your behavior. And here we go to the point 2, imposed preference. Actually, as soon as you get personalized recommendation for your purchases, in most cases you will not check if this recommendation is good for you. You will believe this recommendation. So it is imposed to you. It is not your real personal preferences. It is selected for you by the supplier. Well, access denial, guys. It is very simple. Again, in case of traditional companies, you go to this company and you get a product you need. In case of platform company, okay, you may be denied a service when nobody wants to cooperate with you. For example, you are in a very uncomfortable part of the city. In this case, no Uber driver will go to get you in his or her car. And well, dependence on connectivity. Guys, it is absolutely logical. It is very, very simple to understand. But now, we depend on connectivity. We depend on being connected to internet. All our activities, all our purchases, all our social life, our whole social life depends on connectivity. If there are some problems with internet connection, in this case, okay, we are simply lost. We don't know what to do. So we have to understand this problem, but it is very difficult to solve it because, okay, all our modern model of consumption, all our model of life is concentrated on this connectivity. Guys, do you understand it? Okay. So, guys, I guess we have a question. Sorry. Okay. Guys, oh, just a moment. Okay. I'm sorry, I cannot check the question. I cannot check the chat. Guys, could you please ask me via micro? Because I see that there had been a question, but I cannot get access to the chat. There are some problems with the computer, with the Zoom actually.
Yeah, I had a question in the chat. What do you think? What will happen with private property ownership on cars, I don't know, houses, flats, if more and more people prefer to rent it?
Well, it is actually a problem. It is actually a very complicated problem. Most probably we will have very interesting risks. In order for people to be able to rent flats, to rent cars, someone should possess these cars and these flats. You understand? So maybe there will be a dramatic change in the level of wealth in our population. There will be people who rent anything they prefer, and there will be rich people, rich companies probably, who rent these cars, these flats, anything for money. So there will be asset owners and asset users. And okay, the problem of that, in this case, asset users will be in a very risky situation. Now we go to the very bad part of the access denial. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to get access to anything, you have to have money, as you understand. Well, in order to be able to rent a car, you have to be able to pay for this rent. If you have no money, you simply will have no access. It is the problem of non-ownership. So probably I don't exclude the possibility that you will have a control over market from the side of those who owns assets, and we will have the increase of expenses for people who prefer to get access to assets in order instead of buying them. Do you understand it, Alexander? Alexander?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, guys. Again, I apologize for this technical, I would say, digital problems. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now it is just a kind of blah, 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 but okay, it is, okay, somewhat interesting, I would say. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in case of digital transformation, many new phenomena we analyze are not completely new. What does it mean? Platforms are not new. Transmission of information on the basis of electric waves is not new. Well, but now the technologies are so developed that these phenomena are more visible or even dominant in some industries. Again, let's imagine we are, okay, let's go back for 2 centuries. You travel abroad and normally you will, okay, let's imagine you have a friend, I don't know, in Paris, and you will live in his flat. Okay, why not? Now, what does it mean? You don't need to buy a flat in Paris to live there for a week or 2. You simply organize your stay in Paris with a friend. So, access economy is not absolutely new. Normally you would use it without platforms. What is the problem? Now, thanks to platforms, we have a big pool of available assets. In case of our normal life, okay, we have one friend in Madrid, I don't know, one friend in New York, one friend in Beijing. So that's all. We have only 3 options to live in our friends' flats. In case of Airbnb, the situation is absolutely different. We have a huge choice of different flats, of different assets. So platforms are regrouping these available assets and they make them visible to customers. It is really the nature of digital transformation. It is how should I say, it is taking traditional social models of life and it is adapting it for commercial use. Guys, do you understand it? Ladies and gentlemen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so let's continue. Well, now guys, probably a fresh example which may be interesting for you. Ecosystems in Russia. Let's go to our home country. Okay, at least to my home country, guys. Well, we analyzed the phenomenon of ecosystems, and now, as you probably know, 2 weeks ago, we have two big announcements. Sberbank announces its shift to a digital ecosystem. As you know, Sberbank is the biggest bank in Russia. Now it is wanting to be a center of a digital ecosystem. And almost in the same time, Yandex, the biggest Russian search engine, purchased Tinkoff, the biggest Russian neobank, virtual bank, in order to become a financial service provider. Now we have to understand that Yandex is already an ecosystem. So Sberbank is trying to build an ecosystem, and we have an ecosystem created by Yandex, which also includes a big financial institution, Tinkoff. So guys, probably the Russian economy will be soon dominated by these two giants, because they have a lot of products. Which cover almost all our needs: finance, taxi, food delivery, shopping, etc. So these two companies will be leaders in our digital economy. How do you think? What will be the difference, or better, whose prospects are better? How do you think? Which ecosystem will be more successful? How do you think, guys?
I think Yandex, because it's widely spread system, and their clients more than Sber.
Okay, actually, the problem with that, Sberbank has more resources. Obviously, it is a really very, very rich company. But Yandex is more present, is more visible, and how should I say, more fashionable. Sberbank, despite its innovation-oriented strategy, is still associated with Sberbank activities, with banking activities, etc. Yandex is more new. It is an internet company, so probably it will be more attractive for customers. Guys, do you understand it?
Yeah. I think that Sberbank is rather more traditional and have not so many trust in customers like Yandex.
Well, actually, you are not absolutely right, because Sberbank has a very, very good reputation. It is the most stable bank in Russia. It is the leader on the Russian financial market. While Tinkoff is more fashionable, as I've already said, Sberbank is a real leader on our banking market. Well, it is perceived as a more traditional, you are absolutely right, but it is much stronger. Do you understand it?
Excuse me, are we only discussing the economic sector? But
Sorry?
Are we only discussing the financial sector, like the Sberbank, their bank activities, and the Yandex's new Tinkoff activities? Or are we more talking about in general?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean that, for instance, Yandex has their delivery, their taxi services, their maps, etc.
Well, and what about Sberbank? What do you know about this company?
Well, for now, they're expanding as well, I see. I mean, you're mostly referring to the loyalty of clients of Sberbank as for financial sector, but it was not, it didn't used to be present in all other spheres, whereas Yandex started their journey as being a digital company.
Absolutely right. It's exactly what I was meaning. Thank you for getting this idea. Ladies and gentlemen, Yandex is digital from the very beginning. Absolutely right. And Sber is more traditional. It is mostly associated with financial services. It will be somewhat difficult for Sber to make this customer switch to the idea of an ecosystem. But actually, ladies and gentlemen, I would highlight that, okay, Mr. Grave, the head of Sberbank, is a very professional guy. I remember the old Sberbank, which used to be, okay, how it used to be, let's say, 50 years ago. The change is dramatic. Now we have an innovative, customer-friendly bank, okay, with pretty high level of services and a pretty high level of digitization. So probably Sberbank will be able to build up its ecosystem. And actually, don't forget that is already has an ecosystem. It is less visible than Yandex ecosystem, you're absolutely right, but it is existing. Do you hear me? Sofia?
Yeah.
Okay, why I concentrated on financial services? It is actually about resources. Sberbank has more resources thanks to the fact it is the biggest and the strongest bank on our market. Tinkoff is present everywhere in all advertisement, in all minds, I would say, but it is smaller and it is, how should I say, it has less resources. Guys, do you understand? Okay. So now, what factors are against the successful digital transformation in Russia? Ladies and gentlemen, now let's go to the digital transformation of the Russian economy in general. Well, what is the problem? Today, as I have already said, we had a very good presentation on digital twins, and we see that digital twins are successfully applied in different industries of Russian economy. But actually, there are many problems. First of all, a lack of modern facilities. Ladies and gentlemen, we should understand that after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Soviet industry, the Russian industry, was virtually destroyed. Now we have some successful sectors like retail, like finance, like agriculture, like oil industry. But well, these sectors are, so to say, separated from each other. We don't have a whole industrial economy, and we lack modern facilities. And you understand, I hope you understand it, it is logical to use digital technologies for modern facilities, not for obsolete ones. Well, dependence on external suppliers, a very big problem, guys. In Russia, we don't have electronic industry. We don't have modern digital industry. In order to implement digital technologies, we have to buy them from external suppliers like US or China. Okay, China probably will be able to sell us these technologies, but still I'm not sure because China is now trying to get the global leadership in the field of digital economy. And obviously, you know about tensions between Russia and US and Russia and Europe. There are strict sanctions which limit supplies of innovation-based technologies to Russia, and without these technologies, it will be extremely difficult for us to develop a digital economy, a digital industry. A low rate of growth. Okay, after the crisis which occurred in 2014, the rate of growth of Russian economy is pretty low. What does it mean? It is logical to invest into digital technologies when the economy is booming, when you expect that they will be soon paid back. In case of low economy, and especially in case of low income, which means that customers do not have enough money to buy new products, okay, in this case, investment decisions are pretty risky. So, only very successful industries can afford investing into digital transformation. Examples are agriculture, which is supported by counter sanctions. It is oil industry, which is obviously a very rich industry here in Russia. It is retail, but some automotive factories, but technically that's all. Obviously, we have some digital technologies in the military sector of Russian economy, but it is a very specific industry and that will not analyze it. But technically, we have huge barriers which hinder the development of digital economy, of digital industry here in Russia. Guys, do you understand it? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions? Because now I would propose to make a break. Okay, no problem. Actually, Okay, actually, it was downloaded by guys. Sorry, I had some problems with LMS, so you may not see it. I will check it. Don't worry. Okay.
I think it would be better if you download it in VK chat.
Okay. Okay, we'll try to do so. Okay.
Thank you.
That's all?
Yes.
Okay, guys, if you don't mind, let's have a break, and after that, we'll continue. Okay? Guys? 20
Yes.
minutes, right.
Thank you.
Now we go to the third topic of our course, actually the fourth one, because, okay, we a little bit mixed the second topic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we go to the topic which is dedicated to main digital technologies. So, three first lectures were dedicated to the analysis of, how should I say, to the analysis of organizational impact of digital transformation. Now, now we should understand what are the key digital technologies which drive, I would say, the digital transformation. Let's go. Let's go. Well, these technologies are classified, are divided into four main groups. Ladies and gentlemen, you should understand that these groups are not mutually exclusive. So one technology may well belong to two or even more groups. But still, these groups are the main ones. Okay, connectivity technologies, as you see, automation technologies, efficiency technologies, and trust disintermediation technologies. In short, what are they? Ladies and gentlemen, you probably remember that during our last lecture, last week, we discussed the transformation of products. Now, products should normally be smart and connected. It is exactly what two first technologies are about. Connectivity technologies are about connections, about connecting people, gadgets, devices, etc. to each other. Automation, it is about replacement human mind, I would say human intelligence, by artificial intelligence. Efficiency technologies, it is how technologies may be used to increase the number of resources available for a company. And, well, the last but not the least one is trust disintermediation technologies. Ladies and gentlemen, why we should mention this technology? Actually, if you remember the model of platform economy, you will see that now people can, at least technically, communicate directly to each other. There is no central agents which can support the trust. What I mean? Well, let's imagine if you go to a supermarket, I don't know, to Peterочка, to buy, I don't know, bread, for example. You trust Peterочка, or normally you should trust it, and you are sure that the bread itself is good. But normally, obviously, Peterочка doesn't produce this bread itself. It buys it from external suppliers. Well, what does it mean? In this case, trust is mediated. We don't know, and actually in most cases we don't care who produced this bread, but we trust Peterочка and we believe that the quality of bread which is available in Peterочка is good. Well, but in case of platforms, the situation is not similar. In case of Uber, for example, what do we do? While we order a ride via Uber app, technically the service is provided by an independent driver. The Uber cannot guarantee the quality of service. It cannot guarantee the trust. The trust is built on the basis of direct communication between the driver and the passenger. It means that the trust is disintermediated, at least partially. So we should establish technologies which help to build trust among parties which do not know each other. Guys, do you understand it? Ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely right. In case of a normal company, a taxi service company is responsible for its drivers. And in this case, if we believe this taxi company, okay, it's okay with us. In this case, we will believe its drivers too. But now the situation is different. We cannot be sure that Uber drivers should be trusted. We should check their trustfulness. Guys, do you understand it? Okay, I will explain this technology a little bit later, but now as our interactions become more and more direct, in this case, we need trust disintermediation technologies. Well, now, what about connectivity technologies, guys? I hope you have heard about these technologies, 5G and Internet of Things. Okay, Internet of Things we have discussed at length earlier. Now let's go to 5G. What is 5G? It's very simple. 5G can be explained as fifth generation. So it is the fifth generation of mobile networks with the following distinctive features. Dense coverage. So there is a really dense coverage of surface by 5G stations. High speed of transmission. Ladies and gentlemen, it is really crucial. As you know, now we live in the era of big data. So in order to be able to use this data for our benefit, we should be able to transmit them at high speed and to receive them at high speed. Otherwise, it is no sense. So 5G ensures this high speed. Now, low network delay. What does it mean? Actually, when you transmit data via communication network, there will be a delay between the moment you send the information and the moment of reaction. Well, in case of our normal personal communication, it is not a problem. But in case we use the Internet of Things, it may create huge risks. For example, let's imagine there is a self-driving car. Well, this self-driving car is receiving information from a center which organizes its movement through the city. Well, if there is a huge delay in communication, in this case, the car will simply not react in time, and it may create dangerous situations on the road. The lower is the period of delay, the more secure and the more efficient is our object. Guys, do you understand it? Okay. So 5G helps to reduce this delay. But ladies and gentlemen, don't think that that 5G is the final point in the development of mobile networks. Now the ideas, the proposals for 6G are already being collected. So it is supposed that in 10, probably 15 years, the 5G network will be replaced by 6G network. Well, and 5G internet allows for device-to-device communication, direct communication, I mean. Now, when we want to use our mobile phone to communicate with other people, we have to go via a communication station. Thanks to 5G, it is no more necessary. Devices can be connected to each other directly, which simplifies the exchange of information and makes this exchange more secure. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now 5G, ladies and gentlemen, it is a key technology for the development of Internet of Things. As I have already said, Internet of Things is based on communications, on the ability to connect a lot of independent devices into a big system, on the ability to exchange information, huge amounts of information. So 5G is really crucial for the development, for the implementation of this technology. A company or probably a state which gets access to this technology will probably control the global industry, or at least will have a huge impact on the global industry. And now we go to two very interesting political things. The first problem is the conflict over Huawei. I guess you have heard about this Chinese company. This company, until recently, was the leader in the field of 5G. And in order to suppress the influence of this company, as you know, the United States imposed very severe sanctions on this company in order to squeeze it out from the market, in order to make it impossible for Huawei to control the 5G market. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that politics, in many cases, politics have a very clear and very transparent economical basis. And now problems in Russia. This topic is less popular, but I would like to discuss it with you. Well, as you know, Russia is now in a very difficult political situation. I mean, global sanctions and tensions which exist between Russia and other leading companies of our planet. But still, despite all these tensions, it is necessary to deploy the 5G network in Russia. Well, there is a project of a law according to which only Russian hardware can be used to develop such a network in Russia. Only Russian suppliers can be admitted for construction of 5G networks. The problem is that there is no 5G hardware here in Russia. We can import, sorry, yes? So, actually it is not. Technically, it should be a good incentive for Russian companies to develop production of such hardware. In case the government ensures a good financial support for such producers, but the problem is that even if we organize production of this hardware here in Russia, it will not be economically efficient because, as you understand, in case of China, in case of Huawei, they ensure this production for the global world. In case of Russia, these products will be for the Russian market only. There will be no scaling effects, no effects of economies of scale. And well, due to the huge investments into the development of this technology in Russia, at least for the first period of time, this machinery, this hardware will be very, very expensive. Do you understand? Okay, but technically it is it is synonymous for the time being to the general ban for 5G internet. You are absolutely right. But hopefully it will not be the case. I hope that the production of such technologies will be launched here in Russia. What is the problem actually, guys? This requirement was imposed in order to protect the national security. Indeed, 5G internet is the, how should I say, is the central bone of the Internet of Things. And if a foreign company controls this technology in Russia, this company will be able to control the whole Russian industry without exaggeration, which is not acceptable in case, due to existing tensions. So this is why it is forbidden for it may be forbidden for foreign companies to participate in such a construction. But well, now and for a pretty long period of time, this problem will remain unsolved because it is extremely difficult to organize local production of such complicated objects. Guys, do you understand? Okay, so. But in addition to 5G, we have a whole set of different technologies, of different connectivity technologies, which ensure communications in different, how should I say, in different levels, I would say. for different ranges. In case of short range, we have Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, RFID, and NFC. 5G, I have already mentioned what is it. And in case of long range, satellite communications can be used. Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard about two last technologies in the first line, RFID and NFC?
I don't know RFID, but I know about the NFC.
Yeah.
The first is radio frequency identification, no?
Absolutely right. And NFC, what is it?
I don't know.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, RFID is absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It is a radio frequency identification. How it works? It is a kind of a radio tags which are attached to objects you want to control. And these tags send signals about the present state of these objects. I don't know its location, its price, its availability on the stock, etc. Well, NFC, it is about contactless payments. If you go to our canteen here at Kantemirovskaya, I don't know actually where are you from what campus are you from, but well, if you go here if you go in our canteen here in Kantemirovskaya, and if you use your plastic card to pay, most probably you will use this NFC technology. You don't have to insert your card into the terminal anymore. You should just, how should I say, you should just touch this terminal by your card. And okay, in this case, this technology will be used. Near field connection, near field communication. It is for contactless payments, for communications on communications for really very short distances. Guys, do you understand? Okay, great.
But I don't really understand the difference between RFID and NFC.
Well, NFC is used, how should I say, for discrete communications and for very, very short ranges. RFID, it is used for constant control of the state of an object. And the range is bigger, I don't know, tens of meters. In case of NFC, it's about centimeters.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
as example, NFC is like Apple Pay, yes? Samsung Pay.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. You are absolutely correct. It works like that. Apple Pay is based on NFC technology. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, now, what about automation technologies? We will list just two main technologies, big data and artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, big data are often considered to be a separate technology. But actually, if we analyze the nature of big data, we will immediately see that it is very close to artificial intelligence. Let's check it. Well, what are big data? Ladies and gentlemen, big data can be defined on the basis of 5 parameters. Actually, initially, only 3 first parameters were introduced to distinguish big data from ordinary data, so to say. These parameters are technological: volume, velocity, and variety. But now, in order to understand the nature of big data from the point of view of business, we introduce 2 additional parameters, veracity and value. I will explain. Volume, what is it? It means that the volume of big data is really huge. We collect a huge amount of data from different sources. For example, let's imagine we have to collect information about all users of contact network who are located in St. Petersburg. So we have to get the information from all their personal sites in this social network. music, text, video, I don't know, pictures, etc. It will create a really huge amount of information. Let's go further. We have to create a digital twin of a factory. What does it mean? A digital twin, it is a virtual model of a factory. It is an imitation of all processes which are organized, which take place at this factory. So it is based on a huge amount of data. Ladies and gentlemen, volume, big volume, it's the first parameter of big data. After that, velocity. What does it mean?
It's level of speed.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It means that big data are produced very fast and they should be processed very fast. Ladies and gentlemen, now we generate a lot of information. We move and we generate the information about our geolocation. I don't know, we visit our personal page in a social network. We generate information about our location, about music we listen to, etc., etc., etc. This information is generated constantly. As you remember, don't forget about the first parameter. It is generated in huge amounts. So we should be able to collect this information quickly, into processing quickly. So velocity is one of the key parameters, one of the key technological parameters of big data. And the third parameter, variety. What does it mean? The data are heterogeneous. Traditional data are homogeneous, they are structured. Now we can collect a lot of heterogeneous data. Again, let's go back to our example with our personal page in contact network. What information do we have there? Photos, pictures, we have text, we have music, audios, we have video, different movies, and we have, I don't know, what else we may have? We have small smiles, etc. So we have a lot of different types of information, a lot of different formats of information. And all these formats should be collected, processed, and stored. So volume, velocity, and variety are key parameters from a technological point of view in order to identify the nature of big data. What about business, ladies and gentlemen? Now, what is business interested in? Business is interested in relevant, complete, and recent data. So here we go to veracity. Data should be clear, transparent, complete, and how should I say, correct. Veracity is actually about the quality of data, quality of information from the point of view of business. Business is interested not in volumes, not in velocity, etc. Business is interested in information which can be used to take correct decisions. Now, value. Probably the most important things. Big data should be able to generate value for our business. We don't collect this big data just to collect it. We should be able to use this big data to generate value for our company and for our stakeholders. Guys, do you understand? Okay, great. I just want you to understand that technological parameters like volume, velocity, and variety are not the only key parameters of big data. Analysts even believe that value is the key parameter of big data. Okay, actually, it is not absolutely. Well, the problem is, okay, value, it's not about the price we pay for it, it's about the value we can extract from this data, as you understand. Well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, if we take the value as the key parameter of big data, it will not be correct either. Because, okay, all information should create value for us. we should understand the big data, the business big data, I would say, as a combination of technological and business parameters. From the technological point of view, it should be really big, it should be really fast, and it should be really heterogeneous. But from the point of view of business, it should be, okay, it should have a high quality, and it should be able to generate a high value. Okay, guys? Absolutely right. Absolutely right. If you just concentrate on technological aspects, okay, it will be just about data, but not about business value. If you concentrate on parameters which are crucial for business veracity and value, in this case, we eliminate factors which determine the technological nature of big data, volume, velocity, and variety. Again, guys, all information collected by the business should have a high quality and should be able to create value. And only the combination of these parameters creates the business big data. Combination of ability to generate value and combination of technological parameters which are related to volume, velocity, and variety. Okay, guys? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's clear.
Sorry?
It's clear.
Great. Thank you very much for your support. Well, guys, how can big data create value for us? First of all, we can better understand our customers. We can better understand our customers. We can better predict their behavior, and we can extract value thanks to this better understanding. For example, thanks to our higher competitivity. And an example could be recommendations by Amazon and Netflix. As you know, these companies do recommend something to their customers, and these recommendations may be important for customers. Well, process optimization. What does it mean? Here we have an example of Uber. Uber is able to predict demand, so predict the need for drivers, actually. It is able to make dynamic pricing, so it is able to adapt prices to the real demand for cars, and it is able to find the closest driver, the closest to the passenger. So thanks to these features, Uber big data model helps to improve the processes used by Uber. And well, another example, not the final one, but just give you an idea, it's about health. So we can collect information about health of other people or of many people. We can create health profile, and we can issue health recommendations for our customers. Guys, do you understand? Ladies and gentlemen. Well, so big data, it is about processing huge amount of data. Sorry, what is the problem? Okay. Well, in order to use big data efficiently for our business, we should distinguish 3 levels of tools. 3 levels of instruments, actually. Big data tools, it's about what? It's how we collect data, how we store them, etc. It is about how we treat big data, actually. Data science, it's the possibility to identify regularities in the economic life, to identify dependencies in the economic life. It's about identification of users' profiles, etc. And well, the last one, it's business intelligence. What is it, guys? It's the presentation of the details obtained thanks to big data for management. As you understand, the management of a company is not interested in technological details. Management takes decisions about finance, profits, strategy, etc. Well, now, as soon as we collect a lot of information, we should be able to use it as a source of value. But the problem with that, big data is collected and analyzed by professional analysts, by IT guys, while decisions which create value are taken by management. So it is necessary to build a bridge between big data professionals and management. And this bridge is built by business intelligence specialists. They present information about big data in a form easily accessible for management, and they make, how should I say, they make big data available and understandable for management. Guys, do you understand it? Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Okay, now let's go to artificial intelligence. What is it, ladies and gentlemen? Artificial intelligence, okay, you see the full definition on the slide. What is it? It is any device which is able to set up its goals, to perceive its environment, and to take actions that maximize its chance of successfully achieving the goals. So what is it, guys? This device should be able to identify the goals. It should be able to analyze the external environment in order to be able to adapt the decisions, the actions to this environment. And well, after this device should be able to take decisions which maximize the chance to reach the goal. Guys, do you understand it? Absolutely right. Okay, actually, the final goals are obviously set up by the human being, actually. Because, okay, if a machine is able to set up the general goals, okay, in this case, you may have problems. I would say that this device should be able to set up preliminary goals. So, goals, I don't know, for a working day, etc. And in this case, this device, okay, it can operate, it can write without human intervention. Guys, do you understand it? That such a device can operate without human intervention. Absolutely right. In this case, what do we have? We introduce the general goals for this device. I don't know, be economically efficient, for example. Okay, after this, this device collects information about the present situation and adapts the goals to the present situation. For example, okay, reduction of production, etc. And well, after that, this device takes actions which will help him to reach this goal. Do you understand it? Nikolai? Well, now look, this classification may be pretty complicated, but well, I don't mean we have a fully independent artificial intelligence. Again, the basic goals, the final goals are set up by the human, by the person who controls this artificial intelligence. But intermediary goals can be set up by the artificial intelligence itself. Do you understand? Okay, so let's continue. What should be an artificial intelligence able to do? Reasoning, so logical deductions. It should see how a logical task should be solved. Planning, it is about identifying the measures, the steps which should be taken to reach the goals, exactly what we discussed on the previous slide. Learning, guys, very important thing. Okay, this artificial intelligence should be able to get experience from its previous actions. It should create, how should I say, models, algorithm, how to behave in similar situations on the basis of its previous experience. Perception. What is it, guys? How do you think? What it means?
Analyzing data.
Not exactly.
Perception is like opinion, but for artificial intelligence, it's actually really difficult to understand. I mean, I can have a perception of something, but it's actually, I don't know, it's strange, it's strange.
Okay, perception, it's about understanding the environment. So it is about collecting the information about environment, about processing. So it's the ability to see the environment. To see it's a general verb, I mean to collect information about the environment and to process it in order to include it into its behavioral model. Do you understand, guys? Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And okay, all these four features are information-based, intelligence-based, but there are also some physical parameters which are very important. Motion and manipulation. Artificial intelligence should be able to manipulate things which is responsible for. So actually, it is a pretty complicated programming, but still, it is about okay. Artificial intelligence is about information processing. Motion and manipulation, it's about robotization, but still, these features are strongly interrelated. So a real artificial intelligence, in case it is used for this purpose, should be able to move and to manipulate things it is responsible for. Guys, do you understand? Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's go to the levels of artificial intelligence. The very basic level, guys, I hope you remember the classifications of functions of smart connected products. The very basic level is distant monitoring. In this case, we simply collect information and make reports about this situation. To put it simply, we try to understand what did happen. We collect information about the past. Big data helps us to make predictive analytics. We process a lot of data, and we understand why something happened and what can happen in the future, so we can understand the dynamics of a system. So we can make an analysis, why did something happen, and we can make predictions, what can happen in the future. For example, on the basis of analysis of many users' profiles, we can forecast, we can make a prediction on the level of insolvency of potential borrower. We identify the similar profiles and we can predict the behavior, the insolvency, the behavior of this borrower. Guys, do you understand it? Ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay. And the last level, the most advanced one, I would say, it is about decision-making support and even automated decision-making. In this case, we arrive to the machine learning and artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence should be able to do machine learning. It should be able to process new data. It should be able to include them into its algorithm. Well, in this case, we have a decision-making support. what should be done? It means that the system creates some recommendations for us. You know, like multiple choice tests here in HEC. We may get, I don't know, 3 recommendations. And we should push, we should push the button according to these recommendations. Guys, do you understand?
No.
Okay, it's actually very, very easy. Okay, for example, you drive a car. Okay, a system which is located, included into your car, collects information about the road situation, about the parking situation, and about the fuel price, etc. And it makes some recommendations for you. So you may use, I don't know, you may use a different road. You may go right now to the fuel station. You can do, I don't know, you go to the parking. In this case, you will save time because if you work, you will save time. So you get several recommendations based on the analysis of the present situation. And you simply choose the best option for you. I mean, push the button. So you push the button which corresponds to the option which is the best for you. Guys, do you understand it? Well, technically it is possible, but in this case, we will arrive to the automated decision making, the highest level, which is the next one, the next line. Well, what happens in this case? Okay. In case of decision-making support, we don't trust the machine completely, so to say. We don't want to transfer the full responsibility to this machine. But obviously, in case of how should I say, of simple decisions, and in case this machine is learned enough, so to say, in this case, some simple decisions should be delegated to this machine, to this car, for example. So if a machine knows our regular behavior, in this case, this machine can simply follow our ordinary model of behavior. Guys, do you understand it?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right. Okay, so, okay. Let's continue. Let's continue, guys. Okay, what about efficiency technologies? If you remember, I told you that efficiency technologies are about getting additional resources for our company. And probably the most popular efficiency technology is cloud computing. In this case, what do we get? We get access to additional computer system resources. But these additional resources are available for us on demand, and they are organized without direct active management from our side. So these computer resources are provided by an external provider. Guys, do you understand it? There are different levels. You may just store your information. You may use this as a platform for different applications. You may use a software to run your own task, etc. It means that computer resources are available from an external provider, from a third party. For example, okay, if you use Gmail as a mail provider, okay, in this case you use cloud computing services. But well, you don't just store this information. You use this as an application to exchange emails. Do you understand it? It is a cloud service actually, because you don't organize this storage. You don't organize this system. You simply get a comfortable resource for you, which is provided to you by an external provider. Do you understand it? Okay, great. So, and it's how it operates. Ladies and gentlemen, we see a cloud. You see this beautiful picture in the middle of the slide. Well, all that we have. The bottom line infrastructure describes the computer resources which are available to users. Computation, storage of information, communication network, etc. So these resources are used to collect and to process information. After that, we have a platform. A platform is a system which regulates access to this infrastructure. What do we have? Identity, access control. We have runtime. How much time do we use this infrastructure? Because of course we have to pay for this service. Queuing, database, etc. So platform, it is an interface which regulates our access to infrastructure. And we have different applications. Monitoring. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means that information from different monitoring devices is collected in this cloud. Content. We may store our content in this cloud, or we may generate content in cooperation. For example, guys, you all use Google Docs, obviously. It is exactly an application. The information is stored in the infrastructure in Google Cloud, and you have a useful, a very comfortable application according to which you can change documents, you can create documents in collaboration. Guys, do you understand it? Okay, obviously, similar applications are available for business users. But obviously, these applications are much more advanced. Well, we have different tools which can be used to access this cloud. We can use phones, smartphones, desktops, laptops. You see a list of different tools. But actually, what is important, guys? We use only tools to access this information. But the actual processing of information, its actual storage, etc., is done within the cloud. We simply access this information via our device. Guys, do you understand it?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's why it is really very efficient. We don't have to create a full IT infrastructure. We just have to have devices. The infrastructure is organized and run by an external provider. Not always external, I will explain, but well, by a provider who we don't care about actually. What are main features of cloud computing, guys? Self-service on demand. What it means? You can access these cloud resources when you wish. And you can access them yourself without additional control, etc. Access should be universal from any place and from any device. So access is not limited to different devices. Resource pooling, what it means? Computer resources are created, pooled, and organized by an external provider. You don't care how these resources are created and how they are run. Elasticity. Well, you don't have to consume a fixed amount of computing capacities. You use as much resources as you wish. So it is about flexible demand and flexible supply of computer resources. And consumption accounting, guys. Obviously, this service is paid, so you have to pay for it. And in order to issue an invoice for these services, there should be a consumption accounting. A system should know, should control, should register the real amount of consumed computer capacities. Guys, do you understand it? Guys? Okay, great. So, now 4 main types of clouds. Private cloud, guys. Now, what it means? It means that a company operates a cloud for its own needs. Users within this company can access this cloud for their working tasks. They don't care about the functionality of this cloud. They simply use its resources. This cloud can be organized and operated by the company itself or by an external provider. The main thing is that this cloud is created for the needs of this company. Public cloud. This cloud is accessible for everybody, no limits. Again, Gmail is a good example. It is a real public cloud. Community cloud. It is a kind of combination of private and community cloud, or better, a compromise between a private cloud and a community. It is a kind of compromise, of private cloud and public cloud. In this case, what do we have? We have different independent users which operate a common cloud. Normally, these users are from different organizations, and this cloud is created for specific tasks of a community. And hybrid cloud, guys. This cloud may exhibit features which are typical for different types of clouds. Well, what does it mean? For some applications, it may be a private cloud, so some applications may be available to authorized users only. And for some applications, it may be a public cloud, so all applications at this level are accessible for all users. Do you understand it? Okay, in case of a public cloud, guys, anybody can access this cloud. There are no limits. In case of a community cloud, this access is limited to a given community. It is created for a specific community. I don't know. For example, we can imagine a community cloud, for example, for what? I don't know, for a small village, near St. Petersburg. So in this case, or better for a business center, in St. Petersburg. So all users, all companies which rent spaces in this business center have access to this community cloud. It is not exactly a private cloud because it is not created for this business center, but it is created for all users which are located within this business center. Do you understand it?
It's like a internet and intranet, yes?
Okay, intranet is not exactly a private cloud. It's not exactly a community cloud. It is a communication network which exists within a given community. But technically, it is very, how should I say? From the point of view of management, it is very similar. Technically, there are two different things, but from the point of management, they are very similar.
Can you give example for hybrid cloud?
Okay, actually, I will be honest, I cannot give a precise example, but okay, I gave you a theoretical example. Again, now, we can imagine a cloud which exists at different levels. At a specific level, it is a public cloud, so anybody can use a given set of functions of this cloud. Well, this information, this cloud is accessible to everybody. But well, at a higher level, it will be a private cloud, so it will be operated by a company. For example, how should I say? We can easily imagine this cloud for military industry here in Russia. As you understand, Russian army purchases weapons from private companies. So there may be a cloud which can be used by all suppliers of the military industry of the Russian army, by all military companies which are suppliers of the Russian army. And from this point of view, it will be a kind of community cloud, because these functions will be accessed by all members of this community. But at a higher level, where there is a need to ensure a high level of security, at this level, it will be a private cloud with the access limited only to the Russian military. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm. It's clear.
Okay, I hope so. Well, so guys, let's continue. What are advantages and disadvantages of cloud computing? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a higher volume of computer resources, obviously, and we have a lower cost of computer resource management because this management is organized by a third party. But well, there are important disadvantages, security concerns. We cannot be sure how this information will be used by this cloud service provider. Will this information be destroyed after we cancel the contract? Will it be securely protected against hackers, etc.? Ladies and gentlemen, why cloud computing is necessary for the digital economy? Because it is about digital twins and big data. Actually, it is difficult for one company to run computer resources which are sufficient for digital twins, big data, etc. We have to rent cloud resources from professional providers. So it is really very important. But well, security concerns do arise because all contracts between the, how should I say? Of course, the obligations to destroy information after the cancellation of the contract can be included into this contract. But as you understand, there may be mistakes. There may be hackers attack, etc. So we, how should I say? We have to trust our cloud service provider, and sometimes this trust may be not well grounded, if you understand what I mean. Guys, is it clear? Ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. Absolutely right, guys. So it is really a problem. Guys, if you don't mind, I would stop here because we have a very complicated topic and we don't have enough time to discuss it. So I will transfer it to the next day or to the next lecture.
It would be better.
Sorry?
It would be better, yeah.
Okay, you are tired, I shall break. Okay.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, I'm very tired too. But well, okay, I still have to work today. Guys, do you have any questions about today's seminar?
No. It would be better if you advise some textbooks or articles to read, short articles. It's not like a big book or...
Short articles. Okay.
Because
the problem with that, okay. I will probably get some recommendations for you and will upload them in the LMS. Okay.
Because it would be more interesting.
Sorry?
It would be more interesting.
Then what?
Then reading only presentation and reading only the information on the presentation. It would be better to read one more resource in order to be fully included in topic.
I see that you don't like my lectures. Okay.
No. You are. It's wrong decision.
Maybe we should make some Google Disk where you can upload your presentations and also some additional materials like articles, books, and so on.
Well, guys, do you go to the university or you are learning from home?
Part-time. Some days we're going to university, some not. But I know only about philology. I'm talking about.
Okay, I understand. Because, okay, some sources can be available from our libraries. Well, I'm not sure that I am right to publish them openly, if you understand what I mean. Okay, but I will try to find a solution. Okay, guys, I see. I will try to find some sources which may be interesting for you. Okay, guys. Okay. More questions?
Could you please upload these lectures on LMS?
Okay, I will do it. I will check it. Actually, I uploaded them, but as I understand, you don't see them. I will re-upload the information.
Okay, thank you.
What else, guys? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, could you please give me some feedback if you don't mind? Actually, if I'm not mistaken, there are about 80 students which are participants of this course. But actually, at this lecture, we have only 30. Do you have any ideas why people don't go to the class, even online?
I can say.
Sorry?
I can say that in the beginning there are more people, but then they got tired and they stopped.
Got tired? At the second lecture? Okay.
Probably.
Could you please repeat?
It means 2 lectures is a lot for some people.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid, okay? There will be no revenge from my side. I want to understand.
He means that sequential to lectures, it's hard for most of our students. And that's why they give up.
Okay. Guys, do you have any comments about lectures? Is it interesting? Is it stupid? I don't know. Are you satisfied? Are you dissatisfied?
It's interesting, but hard to understand sometimes because of a lot of information on English.
Okay.
Yes, I support his opinion. Because when you showed some diagrams, some graphs, it was very interesting. For example, I have remembered the picture about green energy, producing energy using weather, for example, or sun or wind. So I think it would be better.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for this information. Well, now I would like to remind you to send me your feedback for the seminar. Don't forget to do it today. We will continue next week, and for the time being, thank you very much for participation. And if there are no more questions, thank you very much, and see you next week.
I have a question. Could you please clarify once more again, the opposing teams, should they send you the feedback or no?
No.
Okay. Now it's good.
No, because it was just a demonstration for you. Technically, you did not participate in this seminar.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
See you guys. See you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.